everybody, this is Gill, the project artist for the Artrium for the month of July. This month we're going to continue on the theme of the local landmarks in Hartlepool, and it's using acrylic based paint, which is very versatile because it's water based. And build up your layers, and it dries very quickly as well, so you have to get your paint down very quickly using a pencil, just very lightly, just below halfway, putting that one end and the other end, and use your ruler just to put that in. It's just below halfway, a nice horizontal line drawn across. Right, we're going to put the rectangle shape with a slight curve on the edge. Remember, all of our landmarks are based on shapes. This one is mainly based on a rectangle shape. I'm going to put a dot over there for the bulkhead, which is a curved top. And then it goes in slightly. You can use your ruler because the left hand side is quite a straight line, and then lift it up for the bulkhead. Right, and I'm going to put the dots where you want the top of your masts. If you have a photograph, the mast at the end on the left hand side is going to be smaller than the middle mast. Generally central masts normally bigger or taller than the third mast. It's just that the angle here is taken from a slight side angle, means that when you look at the image it ends up slightly taller. Right, and you also draw the cross pieces, which is where the sails are kept. There's also a flag near the top where the bulkhead is, and just make a flag, pull that down. It's like another triangle shape with an extra long angle, like the isosceles one that we did for the War Jackson Park. Next, take your pencil, pull it across, make two lines because that's where the sails tucked away. You can also do some smaller, some masts that are slightly lower across. Then there's one more line at the back. Must look splendid when it's all unfurled and already in full sail. That would be wonderful to see. Right, what we're going to do now, I've noticed there's some triangle shapes, elongated, long triangle shapes. Yeah, I'm going to pull those across, and this is the rigging. And the sailors would have climbed up to the top of the masts to make sure that the sails were unfolded. There's some more of that rigging, which is the lines. More triangles, the rigging lines. A little top of the rigging there. I'm going to draw one more horizontal piece because there's another sail on that front, and I'll draw the sails tucked away again at the bottom of that horizontal line. So that line across there will be a sail that's tucked away. We'll do some more triangles shapes for the rigging, and some more triangle shapes there for some more rigging. One little bit under there, and another triangle at the bottom, and another to go across there. There's a lot of lines that can go in. I draw them in faintly. There's a lot of rigging lines within these triangle shapes, and then another lines going that way down, and then there's one from the top left, big one that goes all the way down. What I should do, line across there where the bulkhead is, because we can add white later on, but I will not jump ahead. What we're going to do is put the main colours in, yeah. But before we even do that, I'm going to my paintbrush, wet the paintbrush, just water in a pot. I'm going to drag the water back and forth from the top to the bottom, top to the bottom. Now we can create a colour wash. I've got some ready in my palette, ready to mix. So I'm going to do some mixing, colour mixing, yeah. We're going to mix. I'm going to put that separate. A lot of blue, a little bit of red. The less red you put in, the more bluey purple. The main colours are yellow, blue and red, and these are primary colours. Well, there's some purple, a little bit more blue there. Right, so add your brush again to the water. What we're going to do, drag that across. You have a lovely shade of purple. You can always makes a lovely effect. So this is a colour wash. Next colour we're going to use is the red, yeah, a crimson red, yeah. I'm going to add the red. The colours blend in to each other. Sunset colours like purples and reds, lovely warm colours. That's your colours added, 2 of them at least. Right. Next colour that we're going to do, I'm going to mix a lovely orange. You see how I've changed the colour from red to orange just by mixing the yellow. Right. A little bit more yellow. There we go, we've got orange. Take off the excess paint, and again, like we did earlier, drag it across. That's still a little bit more red than what I needed. So there you go, that's more of a orangey shade. Doesn't matter about painting over the image, you'll get that because it was on pencil. You already have that image beneath. Yeah, a lot of it is a lovely shade of orange. Right, just drag it across and we can blend it in as well in with the red. Right, what I want to do now, underneath, try and pull that right across. These are definitely colours that I love seeing on a lovely summer's evening, or having a walk or toddle along Hartlepool Marina. I'm changing my paintbrush. A little bit of orange coating. It won't matter because the colours blend in with each other. I pull it and drag it left to right. up across and back. Very therapeutic. Might add a tiny bit more of the orange, because they're not necessarily block colours. Clouds tend to merge into each other. You can see it's gone from the purple to the red to the orange, a lovely orange, flaming orange going on there, and then the yellow, which is fainter, paler, which is more like a ochre mustard yellow. It would be advisable to change your water at this time, or to have two different water pots going on. So what I'm going to do is do the reverse for below the waterline, and that's where the waterline starts, and that reflects, the colours in the sky should reflect in the colours of the waterline. There's the yellow, add it in, and add in a little bit of the orange. With the yellow, and making it wave, a little bit wavier, as there is a ripple going on here. Then we're going back into our reds, deep reds, crimson reds. You can mix that a little too, make some waves. Doesn't have to be a straight line for the water, for the colours in the background. And add a lovely purple, and maybe take a little bit through into the red, some red even there, orange there. There's the purple with a little hint of the red going through. Wavy lines for the water. Add a little bit darker at the top there. We're going to do a silhouette, paint a silhouette, which is basically the outline. Then start adding your dry brush. Trincomalee ship in the sunset. Because as the sky gets darker, objects get darker too. Follow it across to the bulkhead, so you can go again left to right. If you want to use your ruler, you can. I tend to just drag it from left to right carefully, but don't have to rush it, and pull your brush upwards towards the top of the, going to put more of a curve in the bulkhead, the end of the ship. Right, I'm going to choose a much smaller brush. This is dry brush work, so as you're putting in the silhouette of the boat, take a brush, pull it towards the top. Doesn't matter if it's a bit wonky, because that represents the sails that are tucked away. A little bit more there. Some people even use the other end of the brush, which is even thinner. add the detail. Trying to keep my finger away from the canvas. Add in line. I'm going to put in the top of the first mast of the bulk of there's the sails all tucked away under there, and little line, little light strokes, and again across horizontally. And there's another sail area. I'm going to take that line all the way down till it meets the top of the main body of the boat, and do the same for the second mast. Not as tall as the first one because of the angle. Then draw it across, out and down. At least you've got your pencil marks and lines to follow as a guideline. There's a little bit of tucked away the sail. I'm going to turn it on its head again and use the other side of the paintbrush. You can actually scratch out white, so you can have like a, you notice there, you can have like a highlight added. Alright, add some more lines down to the bottom. I'm going to go across again. There's your rigging. Less paint on. Drag down for the rigging. And same again. Thinner lines this time. Can you see how it's taken shape now? And it's a lovely contrast against the sunset, the black, the dry brush work. And take that from the bottom to the top. You can see the triangle shapes that the rigging makes. Can add a few more lines like that if you like. Pull it up and down and across. Pull that across and down. A few more lines of rigging. And another one going across, and another triangle at the top, and a line down to the right to make another triangle shape, just to show the rigging, which were basically the ropes that the sails were attached to. Not far from finishing there. Right, just going to create a little bit of a shadow. Doesn't matter if your lines run down, you can. So I'm going to take a bit of purple just below the waterline, just to show the reflection. Wobbly lines again. Join that in the middle, and a thin line going through there, just to show the reflection of the main body. All the way across there. A bit of rigging at the mast. There's a bit of mast, and the third mast going across, joining that up in the middle. That's what we're mainly doing, that little mixture of black and the purple. Put a bit more black in to show the rigging. Even added a little bit of blue in there. Nearly there. Just got a tiny bit of just with the other side. Bit of black again, just to show the reflection in the water. If you want to add a few highlights, you can use some white. I'm going to add a tiny bit of detail, added a couple of portholes, yeah, and maybe along the bottom of that. The curled up sail and the flag. A little bit of detail in there, just highlights it. Perhaps just where you think can pick up a bit more detail underneath the masts and the furled up sails. I won't add too much more white on that area, just across there. Doesn't have to be perfect, it just gives a nice finish and touch. Real beautiful painting. And there we have it, guys, the Trincomalee frigate boat in Hartlepool Marina at sunset.